Before we start, I would just like to say all the shit around The Witcher 4 is not valid. Ciri was set up to be a witcher at the end of this third game, and the games aren't canon to the books. Ciri was trained by elves, sorceresses, and witches, and so it's most likely that she will be the most powerful witcher. Geralt will also most likely pop up, for anyone worried about that, perhaps in his vineyard, or maybe as the final Gwent player. The Witcher 3 is a massive open world game filled with too many moral choices, to be honest, and as such it is impossible to do a truly morally good playthrough. From the crones of Crookback Bog to the nefarious dealings of Sigismund Dijkstra, a certified CD Projekt Red classic, it was released on the 18th of May in 2015, in one Game of the Year, although that accomplishment is meaning less and less these days. It continues the story of Geralt of Rivia, a witcher trained in Kaer Morhen, in his search for his love, Yennefer of Vengerberg, and his informally adopted daughter, Princess Cirilla, or Ciri for short. They engage in a long cat and mouse chase all over the continent as the Wild Hunt, a cabal of hunters that utilize ice magic, are chasing her. Starring the voice talents of Doug Cockle, Denise Goff, and Joe Wyatt, the game is set during a massive war between elves and humans, which is one of the most confusing things I've ever read. However, I think I can limit it down to the elves fucking hate humans. The elves are Nilfgaardians and ruled by Emperor Emir var Emiris, and the humans are the Northmen ruled by King Foltest II, good old stern Foltest. This game, being a CD Projekt Red RPG, is filled with game mechanics, crafting potions to fight and kill monsters, using your powers in the most strategic way possible in order to control the flow of battle. You can trap your opponent, blast them back, shield yourself, or use fire magic. The dialogue is incredible, with many different routes and options leading to, I think the sum total is like 36 different endings. You can grow your hair out, you can shave it back, or you can brew up some sweet blade oil. Gwent. Gwent is an evil game made by masochists who were never loved as children. It's a collectible card game that is pushed onto the player if they want to do certain quests. The entire game revolves around Gwent if you want to hit that 100%. The game is insanely difficult, but there is a strategy. Just use a shit ton of spies in the first round until you have a million fucking high power cards and then crush the opponent. The game is filled with little scavenger hunts or witcher contracts. You can do a few races, knock out a fat guy for fun, and this is what CDPR excels at, the little things in a game. For example, in their other game Cyberpunk 2077, my favourite part of the game was riding around listening to the radio and knocking out cyber psychos. I do almost the same thing in The Witcher 3, riding around on my horse and murdering contracts like Jenny of the fucking Woods. Jenny of the Woods, if you're listening, I fucking hate you. The game begins with a dream of Kaer Morhen. Geralt and Yennefer speak with each other before Geralt checks on Ciri. She's training outside and she and Geralt race. The dream then turns into a nightmare thanks to a body being discovered in a training dummy. Geralt awakens hunting after Yennefer with Head Witcher Vesemir. They start the hunt in White Orchard, a small town. They ask around and after a while they take a hit out on a griffin which they promptly kill. Yennefer finds them and brings Geralt to an audience with Emperor Emir, the White Flame. They discuss the disappearance of Ciri and how Geralt is going to get her back. Geralt leaves for her last known position, a town ruled by the bloody Baron, Philip Strenger. The Baron has a problem. His wife and daughter are missing. Geralt does some snooping around the rooms and as such finds that Anna, the Baron's wife, wore a protective charm and Tamara, his daughter, just ran away. Geralt finds evidence of domestic abuse and the Baron sends him to a Pella about the amulet. The Pella is an old man and gets Geralt to get his goat back. That is difficult to say. The Pella needs blood, goat milk and some sort of ash to augur with the spirits to tell him where Anna and Tamara have gone. The Pella reveals the existence of a hidden child of Anna's. She miscarried the baby. The Baron reveals his abuse of Anna, blaming her for his abuse as well. Geralt deduces that the baby became a botchling, and this is where the game will diverge. I am no Geralt expert. I've only got like about 2 hours in the first Witcher game, and I haven't played the second one. That is except for the mobile Gwent game. I am going to start a little rant here because I fucking hate Gwent with a passion. Especially early game Gwent, because late game Gwent is easy. Just load them up with a million fucking spies and use weather to crush them from there. But early game Gwent is so fucking difficult because you simply just don't have the cards to win. I'm sorry for repeating that, but I just fucking hate Gwent so much. Ugh. Getting back on topic, I don't actually know what Geralt would do in that situation, but what I chose to do was turn the botchling into a lubberkin. The Baron names it D, and it leads Geralt to a fisherman's shack. They tell Geralt that they took the Baron's daughter to Oxenfurt. He makes sure that she's okay, and finds that she's joined the Church of the Eternal Fire. She says that she never wants to go back to her father. And so we go back to her father and tell him that Tamara is in Oxenfurt and safe. And the Baron tells us that Ciri had some dealings with the crones of Crookback Bog. Geralt travels there to Crookback Bog and finds Gran, along with a little tribe of orphans. Gran is very protective over these children and doesn't let Geralt speak with them, so he tricks her and finds information about another kid named Johnny. Geralt finds Johnny and recovers his voice for him. Johnny is a godling, that's why Gran wanted him hidden away. He reveals that the crones know what happened with Ciri. So, together they summon the crones, and the crones tell him that they tried to kill and eat Ciri. Geralt swears that he will kill them and reveals that Gran is Anna Strenger, the wife of the Baron. Also, I don't know if it's pronounced Strenger or Strenger. This is a side quest, however, and you can leave to Novigrad, but it is potentially important to a later quest, which is retrieving Uma after Skellige. I chose the options leading up to the quest that got both the Baron and his wife killed, because I'm just like that. In Novigrad, Geralt finds that Dandelion, his bardic buddy, has been imprisoned. With the help of femme fatale Priscilla and battle-hardened dwarf Zoltan Chevet, we free him only for him to reveal that Ciri is gone, chased from Temple Isle. At the same time, we find Geralt's other ladylove, Triss Merigold, who is trying to escape the city. We help her escape, aided by the Sigismund Dijkstra. Dijkstra wants us to help assassinate King Radovid, and I help him out because I don't like Radovid. We find and kill Whoreson Jr., and find out that he hurt Ciri, so he had to die. We book passage to the Skellige Isles. We find Yennefer there, and also a funeral. Geralt and Yennefer have freak sex on the back of a stuffed unicorn, and attend a party to steal a mask that belonged to a druid named Ermion. Yennefer uses the mask and gets attacked by fog imps. And then Geralt uses the mask and sees Ciri and her elf friend teleport away. Geralt and Yennefer end up travelling to a sacred garden to find an informant who contacted Ciri and helped her. However, the garden is corrupted by a cursed man. Geralt kills the man and finds the informant, dead. Yennefer uses some of the life force of the garden to make the corpse speak, and he tells of how Ciri was attacked by the Wild Hunt and kidnapped by the elf, later revealed to be Avalak. However, he was cursed and turned into the ugliest man alive. Geralt and Yen go to Kaer Morhen to fix it up so that they can remove the curse from the man. The man is revealed to be Avalak, an elfin mage that Geralt knew. He is told that Ciri is in the Isle of Mist, so Geralt goes to recruit allies from Novigrad, Skellige, and Nilfgaard. He recruits some allies and gets a sword from Crack and Crete before heading to the Isle of Mists for Ciri. He follows the magic firefly given to him by Avalak until it leads him to land. He fights his way through until he reaches an ominous hut. He finds some prickly dwarves inside who make you find his missing buddies. They eventually open the door to Geralt and he enters to find an unconscious Ciri. The firefly flies into Ciri and wakes her up, reviving her. They speak for a while, and Ciri and Geralt teleport to Kaer Morhen, where they have an epic showdown with the Wild Hunt. Now, depending on if you invited them, Vernon Roach is there from the second game. Cerys or Hjalmar, I'm assuming, I don't actually know. In all of my playthroughs, I sided with Cerys. It just seems rational that way. Ciri reunites with everyone, Yennefer, Triss, Lambert, everyone, Vesemir. Kaer Morhen is prepped for war, and the Wild Hunt attacks. They're fought off, but Vesemir tragically dies. Ciri goes just fucking apeshit and unleashes a massive magical storm that is only stopped thanks to the intervention of Avalak. Ciri swears to never hide again and they hold a funeral for Vesemir. Avalak suggests more help, the Lodge. The Lodge, if they choose to help, will be granted amnesty, and Ciri shouts at everyone. Avalak calls Ciri a danger, to which she calls him a pussy and fucks off. She's being trained by Avalak and needs help focusing, and so Geralt and Ciri have a snowball fight to soothe tensions. They leave very early in the morning for Velen. Imlerith, Vesemir's killer, is being held a feast there, and Ciri plans to kill him while he's nice and drunk. They find that the crones of Crookback Bog are also there, and they find Johnny again. Geralt and Ciri ascend the mountain, on the way fighting Fugas. Geralt faces Imlerith, and Ciri fights the crones, letting one slip through her fingers. Geralt kills Imlerith, smashing his burnt head in with his own mace. They travel to Novigrad to find Yennefer and Triss. Avalak schemes to take the Wild Hunt down by travelling to the lands of the An-El to speak to one of them and turn them against each other. They travel to another world, fighting sand crabs and travelling through portals. Geralt travels through worlds until he reaches An-El, more specifically Tir na Viceroy Geralt's palace. That is also difficult to say. They show Geralt who killed their leader thanks to an Oneromancer Geralt helped earlier in the game. They sail to Skellige and find the Sunstone, summoning the final boss, the head of the Wild Hunt. Now, I did skip over a lot of stuff about the Lodge and helping them out because I am missing some info about it. My copy of The Witcher 2 is coming, and The Witcher 1 on Steam I have not completed yet. I promise you I will revise this when I understand everything. Now, they haven't summoned him yet because Geralt hasn't helped the Lodge yet. Geralt asks Ermion about the location of the Sunstone, who leads him directly to a Skald. The Skald misses his white whale, and Geralt is told where the Sunstone Cave is. Geralt then travels to where Avalak is located and finds Yennefer already there. They fight some golems and make their way inside to find that he's been sketching portraits of Ciri, and find that he has found the entire lineage of her, being Lara Doran's offspring? They find a woman in his lab who demands they leave until she sees Ciri. She reveals that Avalak is tired of Ciri and sees her only as a half-breed. They destroy his lab by tossing shit around and having fun. Ciri finds out that Skjal is dead and visits his grave with Geralt, only to be the one that buries him. Geralt then sails to an elven ruin with Philippa Eilhart. They pay the century in blood and continue. They gossip about the Lodge and find the Sunstone. Philippa wants Geralt and Yennefer to leave Ciri to her. Geralt then sneaks onto the Emperor's ship. The Emperor demands to know where Ciri is. Emir agrees to free Fringilla Vigo and remove her Dimetrium shackles. He tells Avalak that everything is ready to go and they sail to Unvik. Avalak puts his plans in place and bosses Ciri around, much to her chagrin. Yennefer confides in Geralt that she wants to leave, go somewhere quiet and settle down with Geralt. The Wild Hunt appears and freezes the Nilfgaardian fleet. Ciri is tasked with killing the mage responsible, Caranthir. She breaks his staff but is beaten and has to flee. Geralt takes the fight over from there. He fucks his shit all the way up, but Caranthir teleports them underwater. Geralt survives this and boards the main ship, the Naglfar. Geralt is too late to save the life of a trusted friend in Cranan Crate. Eredin and Geralt fight, a climactic final duel between two powerhouses. Geralt slays Eredin, who claims that Avalak has ran off with Ciri. Geralt is cornered by Wild Hunt dogs and is rescued by Yennefer. Avalak appears to be holding Ciri hostage, and Geralt and Yennefer go to rescue her. Geralt and Yennefer are separated by magic barrier, and Geralt goes along to find Ciri. He prepares to face Avalak in combat, assuming the worst, when Ciri steps out from behind a pillar and explains that she intends to enter the rip in space and time. Ciri enters the portal to stop the White Frost, as only one with Elder Blood can do so. She remembers all the good time that she and Geralt had, and the portal disappears alongside the magic barrier. Geralt meets with Emir and tells him that Ciri is dead and her body will never be found. He then meets up with a smith in the ruins of the Nilfgaardian camp from the beginning of the game, who hands him a massive silver sword. Geralt returns to White Orchard, the tavern from the start of the game, and hands the newly forged blade to Ciri, his daughter, and as such the game ends. Graphically, the game is gorgeous and hasn't aged a day. It still looks real, and when I travelled to Toussaint for the first time, I audibly gasped at the beauty of it. The music is excellent at getting stuck in your head. I can perfectly recall almost every single song from the game. The song that Lady Dandelion sings, you know, Priscilla, in the tavern, the one about Geralt and Yennefer, is by far my favourite. And as such, I actually bought the song. Because who am I if I wouldn't make terrible financial choices? Holy shit, I spent a long time on this script, but that just goes to show how good the game is. However, this game does have many flaws, as do all CD Projekt Red games. I encountered, I think I counted them, it was 26 separate bugs in my playthrough, sometimes breaking the game. I just couldn't recruit Ceres for the final battle, as she decided to teleport out of existence. The camera gets very annoying at times, and sometimes my horse just decided to fuck off. The game is so good that this actually hasn't sullied my experience with it. You know, 9 out of 10, looking forward to The Witcher 4. Finally, there are 2 DLCs for the game, being Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine. I haven't finished either of those yet, but I will probably make videos about them when I do. So, you know, look out for that.
I will follow into the storm to find your heart, its passion displaced by our ever-growing, hardening into stone, amidst the cold to hold you in a heated embrace. You